Everything is good? Okay. Yeah, those practice like this, then you can say everything's good because you didn't waste your time. So, otherwise, everybody's wasting time all the time. No human being could have done something truly meaningful. You see, just waste time, everybody. Yeah. Yeah. You know, if people don't know Dharma, then there's not much you can do. You don't have enough fortune to even understand true Dharma, like Buddha's teaching, right? Then it's waste time. So, it's what to do. They don't know. But even those who are in Dharma, you see, they waste time all the time. Yeah. It's estimated that Buddhists have about 400 or 500 million followers around the world. 400 or 500 million. So among them, very few people, among very, very few people take spiritual path seriously. Most of the people are like what you call a culturally Buddhist, and that's about it, Yeah. From my experience, when I look at the world, among intellectuals in the world of intellectuals, you see, philosophers and scientists, mathematicians, and many intellectuals, they are pretended to be interested in truth, But then, I think you really have to have a very special karma to come to that, because there's a lot of confusion, it's very difficult to know. Yeah. And then vast majority of the people are not even interested in the truth. They're only interested in having a little comfortable life, that's it. That's how I see it, That's it. They're not really interested. Only when it's like tragedy, something, then they're like, hey, maybe there's something, maybe I need to. The moment that's gone, then again it's forgotten. It's like that, honestly. Yeah. Yeah. How I feel is actually, if people are truly, genuinely sincere about understanding the truth, finding a solution to pain and suffering, they're very sincere, very genuine from the bottom of your heart, then I think that's like a natural prayer, aspiration, wishes. Then that can eventually happen, You have to kind of like have that, you have to will it. Kind of those who were lost completely, kind of recognize, understand. It's like, okay, then Buddhas and Bodhisattvas' blessing can enter in when you're really sincere and open and wanting to understand the truth, like that. You agree with me? Yeah. Yeah. I had a lot of conversation with a lot of people throughout the years, I notice most of people, talk all kinds of things, but not really open to the real truth, though. Just they have their own attachments and their own belief system, and constantly find a way to hold on to that, and that's it. That's all there seems to be. Yeah. You have to have really a spiritual karma, I think, to kindly come to. Yeah. In one way, Buddha Dharma, prayer, practice, if you genuinely do, so much blessing, like Nyungne, if you sincerely, genuinely do, it could completely transform you, you see? And then, on the other hand, if you don't do this just because you had some connection with Buddha Dharma teaching and so on, you still long way to go, Each lifetime, everybody suffer from 5 poison, You look like that, so much. And then even if you had some correct understanding, you just couldn't do the correct thing. That's a lot of the times like that, you see. Then it's like what I keep on saying, one step forward, one step backward, Many lifetimes like this, then you're back to square one. Almost like you never made progress, Once in a while, then you progress, Usually, this is how it happens, Once in a while, you are in a situation where somehow you manage to generate so much love, compassion, so much faith and devotion, some pure energy like that. And that has a lot of power. And that will somehow, help you to make some kind of leapfrog, Oh, all of a sudden you're in another place. Just because single moment of pure energy like that. Many stories. Even our Buddha himself told many stories like that. One of his first moments of real relative bodhicitta, Yeah, Bodhicitta, the awakened essence, heart. At this point, in people in the world of samsara, it's referring to a compassion that you can generate in your heart. See, that's the incredible thing. That's the missing link. Amazing. Otherwise, it's distant between Buddhas and Bodhisattva, us ordinary beings. So far, there is nothing in common, so to speak, But the Bodhicitta, relative Bodhicitta, that's based on love and compassion, that even in vicious human being has potential to generate. You see, the moment you generate, there you go. You connected to that. That's the hope. Yeah. Moment you generate altruism. You all, I think, know the famous story of Buddha was experiencing some kind of hell. One type of hell where he and his friend, 2 of them, were tortured so badly by a hell guard, and they had to move something like a chariot. And then every time, and they struggled to move, and they're beaten, and then each time it got beaten, they hurt so much like that. And then Buddha and his friend, they struggled so much. And then Buddha looked at his friend, and his friend is struggling so much. And Buddha had a moment of true compassion. And Buddha felt like, he struggled so much. And then he asked the hell guards, this chariot pulling, and he says, if you could let my friend go, I will pull the chariot myself alone. Buddha genuinely had that, the unselfish feeling like that. And then the moment Buddha mentioned that, the hell guard says, what makes you think you alone can pull this when you 2 of you cannot pull this properly? And he whipped him like that. So was saying that. And then Buddha remembered, next thing he knew is he had a human birth. Like that. There's many, all Buddha Bodhisattva story in Samsara, many story like that. This is what I mean, Even in a difficult situation, one step forward, one step backward, and so on. If you don't have powerful emotion like that, that's when you earn real spiritual point, And then you collect all these spiritual points. At some point, you have so much point, then you can have all kinds of spiritual breakthrough, That's how it really works. Yeah, our purification. This is a journey. Dharma is a path, a vessel to cross the mighty river of samsara. You absolutely need this. Yeah. And spiritual teacher. In Buddhist scripture, examples are mentioned. The spiritual teachers are like the ship captain, who drives the ship. And then you have to enter in. And, until you're on the safe side, you better follow what the captain says. Otherwise, everybody's going to sink. Mighty ocean. Yeah. Once you arrived at the other side, then you've already arrived destination. See? Then ship has no use after that. See? Yeah. That's what Buddha was trying to teach Subhuta. Ship is very important. Initially, you have to adore, cherish, very important. Once the other side, you have to let it go. Yeah. Yeah. So, when you make spiritual progress, there's layers of hang-up, grasping, And then, one by one, you have to find a way to let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. When you totally let go, then you're free. See? You see? That's what enlightenment means. Perfection of wisdom. Perfect. And when you finally perfect it, then it's the primordial wisdom. Yeah.
What is two-arm Shenrezig mantra and Mahakala mantra?
Two-arm Shenrezig mantra or mantra will cover all Shenrezig. That's the essence mantra. There are other types of mantras too, but that's the essence mantra. All Shenrezig. Yeah.
So in a week we're all going to be home, or close to home. And I know I'm going to be wasting a lot of time. Cleaning my house, grocery shopping, hanging out with my sisters. Do you have any suggestions for how to, I say my mommies, but, it's very, it's like a big break to go from this environment where everybody understands to that environment where almost no one understands what I'm doing.
Yeah. Ultimately, it's the mindfulness and awareness. Meditation and action is what you have to try and perfect. Yeah. Awareness of action. Not wavering from, one-pointedness, in other words. But that's a little bit difficult. You have to perfect concentration before you'll be able to do it, meditation in action, Yeah. Yeah. See, Mahamudra prayer says action meditation is to train all the points of meditation. See, while you're, in other words, mindfulness and awareness. Yeah, and mindful of action, whatever's going on, not distracted. And awareness is you're aware of your intention, And basically awareness is if you get lost, if you're not mindful, then, what's the English word, that which brings you back. I was distracted. See? Back to mindfulness. That's awareness, like that. And the ultimate idea is to be mindful and aware of everything 24/7, including sleeping. See, that's the thing. But with your pure intention, with your, core principle based on Bodhisattva morals and ethics, and do your prayers every day, you're not wasting time like ordinary people. You aren't quite able to behave like the Mahasi does, but you're somewhere in the between, Yeah. Yeah. The definition of meditation, the traditional saying is, meditation, there's no such thing called meditation besides getting used to it. In other words, training of mindfulness awareness that you continually practice and train, then you build a spiritual habit of not getting lost and so on. Then that's meditation, So, right? So in other words, you have to build a pure spiritual habit of not getting lost. Yeah. I remember Trungpa Rinpoche also, you have to sit. And he says something, you have to sit. You need to sit like that, So that's what it means. You have to, train your mind, meditation, and concentration initially, right? Yeah. Concentration on virtuous thought. Yeah. If you one-pointedly abide in a calm, abiding state of mind, then that's a virtuous thought naturally, like that, right? Yeah. All kinds of wonderful qualities come from mind being able to focus, You see, even a mundane thing, many things in mundane world, including study, and so, if you can focus, then you can do well. You can do good exam, and etc. Right, like that. let alone true spiritual quality, requires a perfect concentration. Yeah.
Question about meditation. They say you shouldn't end your meditation on a bad note, meaning feeling bad or uncomfortable. But when I'm sitting in meditation, how do I know when to push through anxiety or feeling uncomfortable? When do I know when to push through it, and when do I know when to end the meditation?
He said he's heard that when meditating, you shouldn't end meditation on a negative note or a bad note. So he said, how does he know when he reaches when to push through, if he's having like an anxiety or a negative emotion, or when to
just end the meditation?
When to just end the meditation? What's the
Yeah, actually, I think if it disturbs too much, you couldn't continue, then what to do? You have no choice. But otherwise, I think you have to try, the basic meditation that you have to try and do is meditation and concentration. Shamatha meditation, meaning resting in peace. Okay, resting in peace. You have to stop thoughts. You have to stop thoughts. People who say like Dzogchen Mamura, no, just stop. You need to do first, mindfulness meditation. All these distracted, discursive thoughts and emotions, neurosis, afflictive emotion. You have to stop that. So that's what you'll try initially. You might be able to do it just few seconds at a time initially. Then you're trying to increase your ability to concentrate from few seconds to, 30, 40, 50 seconds to 60 seconds to a few minutes like that, And that's how you make real progress. If you cannot do that, then it's not gonna, your meditation will not improve. Yeah. So, you have to try and, first of all, you have to be really serious about meditation. It's not like, meditation is good, I need to do. That kind of attitude is not good enough. You really have to seriously, believe that this is, like the most important thing in my whole life type of belief. And then you might be able to make some progress in your meditation. Otherwise, casually, Dharma is prayer, meditation is important, I'm going to sit. You will not be able to make any real progress. Yeah. And then the other thing is, temporary disturbing emotion, this, that, not big deal. But the real thing is you have to consistently do your meditation. Every day, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour a day, so consistently. You see, neuroscientists have done study in meditation practice. They call it metta meditation, or whatever, those things. They could see change in the brain. In order to have effective, real change, whoever want to do mindfulness meditation, they say you have to do. I saw that. I read that paper somewhere. Have to do at least 12 minutes and a half or something like that to see a real decisive change. And that is not changing your brain. They could tell. So you see, you have to do at least like 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, if you want really your brain change. In other words, ability to focus change, calm your mind, change, proper wiring of your, neurons in the brain to be changed from very agitated mind to, disturbing mind with so much discursive thought and so on to a calm and clear and, It says that. Minimum of like 12 minutes and a half or something like that. See, you have to do that, So you have to do, you should be doing more than that, so. Consistency. You have to build callus in your butt. See? This is what I meant. You remember I was telling you a story in our Tibetan society, naturally is a Dharma Buddhist society, right? Then many lay people and monks and nuns and practitioners, like some kind of, there's a separation. And then once in a while, among lay communities, somebody was, really serious about Dharma path. It was Samsara. It's kind of like Samsara sucks. That's it. I'm going to focus in my Dharma practice. And then they will practice and they become a successful practitioner, really good. What I'm saying is the saying in Tibetan, a particular person like that becomes successful later in Dharma practice and will become very good practitioners. The common saying is, oh yeah, I knew, He's an intelligent guy, very smart guy. This is somebody with real spine, This would be an English expression that the people saying like, oh, yeah. In other words, if I use contemporary American, well, I knew he was not a loser, that he is going to be successful, This is a saying. Meaning, understands importance, that focus, concentrate, really going to do it, Not wasting, So you have to have that kind of mindset, right? Yeah. Yeah, from my experience, also all these really serious, accomplished, good practitioners, they're very tough people. Yeah. They completely understand what is important, and then they're able to persevere towards that direction. So that's what you need, actually. Yeah. I say, those you come and do Nyungne, you guys are not losers. Okay, we have to start.